We're going to get this meeting rolling.
That's loud, man.
I know it's working good tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. Somebody found the mic switch.
Yeah.
All right, call the meeting to order. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
First by Troy, second by Rick. All those in favor? Steven's on an island by himself. That passes 5-0. Please join me at the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. All right, next up, entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
So moved.
First by Kaylin,
Second.
second by Steven. All those in favor? And that passes 5-0. Next up is our recognition section, Dr. Tomlinson.
On the pleas of the board, I'd like to invite Hillary to come up and be recognized. Hillary is our classified employee of the month.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
She was nominated by Misty Smith at Cornerstone. Since Hillary is such a huge asset at Cornerstone, you can see her working from the time she walks into the building until the time she leaves. You hear her name being called throughout the day, various things to go take care of in the building, and she does it with a smile on her face. She does a job that could never be paid enough, but you would never know it. She always has a friendly hello to every passerby, a positive vibe, and an all-around great attitude. We are so lucky to have her. That was written by Misty Smith to nominate. She's our this month's classified employee of the month.
Nobody's not.
Yes, it's a requirement.
Nobody's
You didn't
not.
know?
Thank you very much.
All right, next up is School Board Recognition Week. Dr. Hucks and Dr. Bullimore.
All right. Your gifts from the staff and the school district are in the other room. It's bags of gold,
Thank you.
paper. It's just not real gold. But, you know, I've said this before, the pay isn't great, and the interactions aren't always positive, and the food's just okay. So
Not tonight it wasn't. It was really good.
I know tonight was an exception, but it's amazing to get 7 people to do it. But you know, best board I've worked with so far. But you guys are great. We wanted to show you some appreciation, and we love to give out certificates around here. So I have certificates for you too. So I'm gonna walk around here and give these to you real quick. Mark, was there anything else we wanted to?
Nope, just should know the video.
Video.
We'll let the most important kids speak for it.
We like the kids.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Thanks for all you do for the students. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all you do for our students.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Thank you, school board. Thank you very much, school board.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, that's your one thanks for the year. So hope you sign up to keep doing it, and you get a thanks again next year.
Perfect. All right, next up, who's our MSBA delegate? Is that you, Stephen?
Yeah, let's cue up the video.
All right.
See what Mr. Gunn has to say.
You did a good job.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of March. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the importance of advocacy on the state level. It's critical that board members and superintendents communicate frequently with state legislators about the impact of proposed legislation in your school district. One example of such advocacy work occurred recently when a group of parents and school board members from St. Louis Public Schools visited the Capitol in Jefferson City. One of those making the trip was Emily Kelso, a parent and chair of the St. Louis Parent Action Council.
There are a lot of us who choose to send our students to St. Louis Public Schools and are proud to do so, and are willing to come here on our own time with no compensation and say, you know, we are proud of our schools, we choose SLPS, and we want to see the legislature here invest in our students.
Another parent, Gloria Nolan, says it's important to be an advocate for all children.
We have to be an advocate for children across the district. And so when I think about it, I'm advocating for the children that don't live in my house, that don't have a mom that might show up to something and might not know all of, you know, how they can express themselves. So I can be that voice. And I promise to do it. I promised myself that I would do it.
The St. Louis School Board also has formed a legislative advocacy committee aimed at having a greater impact on legislation being considered in Jefferson City. As the legislative session progresses, we will keep you updated on developments again this year through our Legislative Voice newsletter sent to members via email each Friday during the session, our Twitter feed with up-to-the-minute developments, through critical issue alerts, and periodic webinars. Missouri has its first ever National Superintendent of the Year. He is Dr. Curtis Kane, Superintendent of the Wentzville School District. The award was announced at the recent American Association of School Administrators Conference in Nashville. Dr. Kane says school boards and superintendents working as a team can benefit the educational opportunities available to students. And he says that's especially true in the current environment.
The ability for school boards and superintendents to effectively work together has always been important, but now, I believe with all the questions, the comments, the criticism, the concerns that school districts are facing, it is more important, more now than ever before, that these two parties work in tandem to support students and their success.
Dr. Kane made those comments during the recent MSBA annual conference held in Kansas City, where he was named Missouri's Superintendent of the Year. MSBA spring regional meetings begin later this month and continue through April. This year's round of meetings will feature presentations from school districts in the region. You'll also have the opportunity to network, share ideas with your colleagues from other districts in your area, and learn more about current issues in public education. You can register for the spring regional meeting in your area through the MSBA website. MSBA's Future Builders Foundation is now accepting applications for the 2022 Early Childhood Education Program of the Year Awards. There will be 3 awards for exemplary early childhood education programs based on school district size. Applications will be judged by the Future Builders Board of Directors. The deadline for submitting an application is April 4th. The awards will be presented at the 2022 MSBA Annual Conference in Kansas City. Application information is available on the MSBA website. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.
Anybody have any questions for Dr. Houck? All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah. We have one visitor tonight, Pastor Mike Boudreaux. Would like to talk to everyone about the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast.
Yeah, just for about the last 12 years, of course, we had to take 2 years because of COVID. And you guys know what that was about for sure. And by the way, I've told this to Trey before. I grew up in a town in Louisiana that had 10,000 people. And for 25 years, my dad was on the school board. About 18 of those was the school board president. The only time he heard from people is when they complained. And they showed up when they complained. And I could tell there's not too many complaints tonight. Nobody's here except me to do business. So I want to thank you guys for what you guys do. But about 12 years ago, Carolyn Schutte was the mayor. And she approached me. She said, Mike, would you think the pastors, the Christian Ministerial Alliance, we can do a prayer breakfast together. And we started it, and it is, I think Trey's been to a couple of them. I know Brian's been to some of them. Really been really pretty good, to be frank with you. And we take some time to pray for different areas of our community, and we end up spending some time praying for the schools in our district. So I just wanted to personally invite you guys to come. I had sent Dr. Hucks a letter, and I think you got tickets in front of you. We'd love for you to show up. I don't think I brought enough copies of the letter, but I'm gonna hand this out, and I'll run out of them before I get, because I had some other things I brought with me, so thank you. I appreciate it, if you guys can come up. I think there's every other person. Thanks. Oh, yes, you know what? This is my schedule, I'm sorry.
We can have Lisa make some more.
Don't give up your schedule.
I was supposed to grab one, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to discussion items. Approval of the 2022 Summer Learning Program. Dr. Bullimore.
Good evening. If it pleases the board, I'd like to present for your approval the 2022 Summer Learning Program. So we have 3 goals for our summer school this summer. It is have the biggest and best summer school we've ever had. We're going to have the most fun we've ever had. And we want to create a repeatable programming that we can use again in the future. I think some of the issues we've run into in the past is every summer we don't know what to expect, our community doesn't know what to expect, our parents don't know what to expect. So now we're going to have something repeatable we can bring off the shelf, we can rinse and repeat where need be, we can update where need be, and then roll it out to our community. So we're really excited about that opportunity. Dr. Miller's working really hard on coming up with a math and reading curriculum for all of our K through 6 students. So every student that attends summer school will be able to achieve math and reading, either a boost or enrichment or remedial programming when they're there in the morning. So we know that we need to improve our reading and math, and so we're going to ensure every student that's there is going to be able to get that, what they need. So the dates are going to be June 1st through June 24th, 8 to 2:30 p.m. We'll have a May 31st teacher workday. Transportation and food service will be provided. We'll be providing lunch and breakfast for all of those students, as well as the high school students that will be attending. We are going to have a kindergarten prep academy, so we know some of the issues we've had in our kindergartens this year. So we're going to have a kindergarten prep academy, and the kindergarten teachers are super excited about that. So we're going to push that out during kindergarten screening. We're going to get as many of those students to sign up, and hopefully we have to use every single one of our kindergarten teacher to be here. So we're really excited about that. So we'll have that. That'll be embedded into the elementary summer school. The Rocking Tiger Club will still work before and after summer school, but we are going to embed all of those students into the summer school as well. So that's something that was done 6 to 10 years ago, so we're going to bring that back. I've talked with Vicki Getz that runs Rocking Tiger Club, and she's super excited. Grades 1 through 8, they're all going to achieve enrichment, and so the teachers are coming up with programming for enrichment activities in the afternoon. We've already got one that we're working on, which would be archery for K through 8, which we're really excited about. Dr. Miller is going to make sure all safety protocols are followed, so we don't have any issues going. No students will have apples on their head, so that was the first rule. And then the teachers, when they apply for summer school, they're also going to apply for summer enrichment programming. If their programming is approved through the administrators, then they're going to achieve, or they'll receive a stipend for writing the curriculum, and that curriculum will be very similar to what the teachers have been writing this year. So we're going to make sure whether they're in math and reading enrichment or whether they're in that enrichment in the afternoons, it's going to be tied to standards for that grade level. So we're really excited about the learning that can happen this summer. In the high school, those dates are going to be May 31st, and we're going to run that all the way through June 30th, so they're going to have an extra 6 days. And that really is so we can achieve the hours that we need to be able to provide them either a half credit or a quarter credit. So that we'll be running through the big classes that will be in person will be human performance. That way we can embed all of our weights students into there. So that'll be about 120 to 150 students. They'll have some activities that they'll have to go through. And then we'll also, Dr. Everett's really excited about an ACT prep course. So they're going to run that for 2 weeks. It'll end on the Friday before that Saturday ACT. And we're going to get that information out before the ACT deadline for April. So we're really excited about that opportunity for the students. And then the high school students will also be able to receive credit recovery and credit acquisition through launch. So they'll be able to get health and personal finance through launch, and then if they're behind on any credits, we're going to try and get them caught up working through launch. So that's the summer learning plan. Does anyone have any questions?
Good job, Mark. Very excited about this. Like I said, something we can use in the future. On the finance side, I would point out that in theory, this will increase our weighted ADA by 115. So that'll be useful beyond summer school.
Entertain a motion.
So,
First by Troy, second by Rick. Anybody have questions for Dr. Bullimore? Comments? Questions for Dr. Miller? I know she didn't present it, but
Hey,
all
I
right.
will say that, thank you, Dr. Bullimore, for putting this together. I never plan on telling my boss, Dr. Hucks, that I am overworked, but sometimes my facial expressions say what my mouth doesn't. So, thank you.
Yeah,
for-
and we're really excited. We've already talked to all the teachers at all the schools, and they're super excited too. So it's going to be a really great opportunity for our community and something we can continue to build on in the future.
I'm excited about the kindergarten program, because my little one, he needs it.
We'll get him there.
and while you guys are here, just shout out on the tutoring at the high school. That's the how quickly that you guys got that together and put it together, and I'm sure Dr. Everett helped with that, but that's outstanding.
All right, we have a first and second. No questions or comments. All those in favor? And that passes 5-0.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you to Cabinet for taking time out of your spring break to join us this evening.
There's nowhere else would rather be.
Good answer. Next year, if board meeting falls during spring break, maybe we should look at rescheduling board meeting.
Yeah, so everybody.
What a
can-
great idea. What a great idea.
You should remind us.
Because last month I would not have put these two together, so I'm just saying. All right, hearing that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
No,
we got
we have
employee
to
benefits.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've already marked it off. I remember reading it.
That one's important, all right, let's go.
Employee benefits and insurance, Dr. Tomlinson.
Gus, I'd like to invite Mr. Griffey to come forward, so I'm gonna ask him to give a little pep talk on the updates of where we're at with
We're gonna be here
insurance.
for hours.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm used to it. Thank you very much. It's that time again to talk about the benefits renewal, and I'm glad that I'm last tonight. I don't normally enjoy presentations like this because when you see the insurance guy, normally it's not good news. I am happy to present that the overall rates for the school district are not increasing this year. I wish I could give you that news every year. And other good news is your benefits are actually getting better on all four plans versus what they currently are. So if I could do a backflip, I would, but
Don't do that.
the pool that the school district is in, MEUHP, with all the other school districts in the state of Missouri, has been great for Excelsior Springs School District. This is the end of our 5th year. Last year we got a 2% increase. This year no increase. That's just, I mean, that's all I do in my world, and I write lots of different industries, lots of different employers, and this just doesn't happen. So this pool has been great for Excelsior Springs School District. Dr. Tomlinson, anything you want to add in regards to that?
I think just maybe a comparison of what some of the plan differences are.
Okay. I went back and looked, and in 2010 was the first year that the Excelsior School District put in an HSA option. We are continuing with 2 of those this coming year. When HSAs were created, employers saw that there was a reduced cost for the premiums for HSAs to pass along some of the cost to the employees to make them better consumers for their health care. Instead of paying a $20 copay for an MRI, they're going to pay a deductible, so hopefully they would shop around and be a better consumer. That has proved true, but on the downside of that, we have got so many employees, and not just for Excelsior School District, for most groups that offer an HSA, that flock towards those lower premiums. So the overall insurance premiums that the insurance company or pool collect drops, so you have less dollars to pay claims for the pool than if more people stayed with the PPO. So, and again, this is not just with the school district or the MEUHP pool. I see this with every insurance company and every group. Now we need to kind of balance that out and put, or at least provide better benefits for the PPO plans to see if that might be an option for employees to go back to a PPO. Currently, I looked at the numbers this year, 70% of the employees with the Excelsior Springs School District are on one of the 2 HSAs. So insurance companies and the pool, Cigna and MEUHP, Cigna is the insurance company that writes the pool that you're in, would like to see that more of a 50-50, just to make sure that there's money in the bank to pay claims. So the plans that the school has provided for your employees have worked great so far. Now we're just trying to refine it and make all 4 of the plans, the 2 HSAs and the 2 PPOs, have better benefits to get hopefully better participation from your employees. I can also tell you that the dental and vision have worked very well. Your vision insurance that I put in 2011 has not increased. You're set for another, your guaranteed rate is up next year, July of 23, but for the last 2 renewals, it is not increased. The dental insurance went up a little bit last year, but it's not increasing again this year. So overall, it's just, from my standpoint, it's a wonderful year for the school district. Any other?
Finally, something fell our way.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, I would love to have more of these meetings.
All right.
Any-
So, if you make the benefits better in both HSAs and the PPO, why would you leave the HSA?
We've had the best plan, option 4, meaning the best benefits of all the options, has been a $1,500 deductible for several years. We are able to give a $500 deductible. The current plan is a $1,500 deductible, $5,000 max out of pocket.
On HSA?
On the PPO.
Yeah, on the PPO.
The best PPO plan. So the more expensive rate, if you will. Going from a $1,500 deductible and $5,000 max out of pocket to now that plan will be a $500 deductible with a $2,000 max out of pocket. That's not just a little bit better benefits in today's world, that's a lot better. And the rate is cheaper than the $1,500 deductible. So
they made the PPOs a little bit more attractive than the HSAs anyway.
That's correct, yes. I get asked a lot during open enrollment, especially from young females that are starting a family. I'm going to have a kid. I'm planning on having a kid in the next 12 months. Which plan should I go with? Well, I compare the HSA, the premium that you don't have to pay because the board pays the premium for the HSAs, and the money that the school board puts into the HSA versus the premium that you'd pay extra for the, say, option number 4, the PPO. Because it was currently $5,000 max out of pocket for option 4, the best plan, and a $5,000 deductible for option 1, the HSA. So they are similar as far as worst case scenario. But there's a huge difference in what you pay and what the school board puts in there for you. Now, well, starting July, you're going to compare $5,000 versus $2,000 worst case scenario. So now, there is no right or wrong for every person. My job is to explain the pros and the cons to you, and then you figure out which best fits you for an employee. Now there is a difference, $5,000 worst case scenario or $2,000. And $500 deductible. I mean, in my world, the $500 deductibles went out years ago. So that is just phenomenal that this pool program is able to give options like this. The pool did go from, currently we're in a 5-tier bracket. Excelsior School District is in the lowest tier that you can get. This year, They have changed it to a 9-tier bracket because otherwise Excelsior School District would not have anywhere to go if your losses continue to be good. They changed it to a 9-tier bracket, and we actually came down a tier this year, meaning Excelsior School District, that converted over to a tier 4 under the 9-tier bracket, and we were able to go down a tier to tier 3. So next year, again, if we have a good year, we're able to still go down, whereas we would already be at the bottom with the current tiers. So the MEUHP board has done a great job of refiguring and recalculating the tiers to try to get more school districts in and stay in and be happy for a long-term investment. If that.
Good deal.
But yeah, I'm thrilled to death to be able to offer you a $500 deductible at lower cost than your current.
Sure beats the days when you came with 15% increases.
And I thought this was going to go so good.
We never forget.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Do we need to approve this?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Mr. Griffey or Dr. Tomlinson? You know, it was just a few short years ago that this conglomerate was pretty close to insolvency, and I mean it was like, oh, we were, what was it, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? We had to put in a big chunk of money.
But here's what I would say about that, though, and this is an important consideration. So, a lot of people will talk about having the assessment, but the difference is, the reason we did the assessment as opposed to just giving a 15 or 20% increase, once you do the 15 or 20% increase, you keep paying that every year forever. By doing the assessment, you just pay the increase once.
One time.
So, you're right, it was painful at the time, but for the long haul, it was a much cheaper option.
And we were an unhealthy district at that time.
We didn't have
any options.
Yeah. We've gotten a lot better over the last few years, so.
We the best performing district in this?
I don't know about claims wise we are, but we are the highest performing school district in the 100 school districts that are in it as far as capitalizing on the incentives and the wellness programs. So that's 2 years in a row, I believe, we've been #1 in the state.
Yes. So the participation's been great for wellness, which you've been rewarded with wellness funds.
3 years in a row, and they cut you a check.
You're right, that'd be great.
It's in the
We
fund.
get between $9,000 and $10,000 a year from Cigna, just for our employees for the different incentive programs that we have throughout the year.
Good deal. All right, no comments or concerns or questions? Entertain a motion to approve the employee benefits and insurance update for next school year.
So moved.
First by Kayla. Second by Rick. All those in favor? And that passes 5-0. I almost counted you. I just looked up, saw a hand go up. All right. Now.
I have something that from the MSBA.
Did they send you
Well,
urgent
this
text?
was with Darren.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like,
The MSBA Regional 4 Spring Meeting is scheduled for Tuesday evening, April 7th at Blue Springs. For anyone that's.
Is that at the same elementary school that's always at?
It just says.
It's at Delta
Blue
Woods.
Springs.
Delta Woods, yeah.
So, I suspect you probably need.
April 7th?
April 7th. Yeah.
It's usually got a pretty good meal. It's a long drive, but I'm just.
You do need to let me know if you're planning to attend.
Interested in going to, yeah.
Okey-doke.
I sent an email to everybody on it. Okay.
Respond if you would. Or don't, no one will go. All right, well, thank you guys again for coming out. Mark your calendar for spring break next year
Yeah, we'll
since the
fix
school
this
calendar's
next
out.
year. It's easy to
See if
fix.
board meeting falls. We'll move it. Or we just keep a short meeting like this. This time I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
First by Troy,
Second.
second by Kayla, all those in favor.